Well, yeah, I do love my Bermuda because there are certain things or qualities here that do not really exist in many other places.
I love my Bermuda because of the diversity. Culturally, it's one of the most diverse places you will find on the earth.
I love my Bermuda because we have the best beaches, botanical gardens. I love to wake up and hear the birds singing.
The idea of good manners is exercised in the island of Bermuda.
Because of the ease of accessibility that it affords me to other Bermudians, regardless of their rank or their status.
I love my Bermuda because of the beautiful sunny days we have, our lovely pink sand beaches, and our Bermuda shorts, of course. That is uniquely Bermuda.
Not only are we pleasing to look at the eye, but we have a great heart.
Live from Bermuda Broadcasting, this is ZBM TV9 News.
Good evening, everyone. It's Wednesday, February 15th, 2017. I'm Diane Brewer, and thank you for joining us tonight. Topping our news, claims of bribery and corruption involving a world-class hospital in Boston and a former Bermuda premier. Taking center stage tonight, and Attorney General Trevor Moniz says government believes it has substantial claims against the Leahy Medical Center in Boston over its alleged dealings with former Premier Dr. Ewart Brown. Tarai Trott read through the government's lawsuit filed in the U.S., and as he reports, government alleges the conspiracy went on for several years and cost local insurers at least $40 million.
According to the Boston Business Journal, the bombshell complaint filed by the Bermuda government in federal court in the U.S. on Tuesday alleges the iconic health provider, quote, conspired with a Bermuda official in a bribery scheme to focus the island's health services to the Massachusetts hospital. The complaint also claims that Leahy obtained privileged access to the Bermudian patients that it could serve at its Boston facilities, as well as in Bermuda, and made big bucks from reading and interpreting, quote, medically unnecessary MRI and CT scans performed at two private health clinics in Bermuda owned by former Premier Dr. Ewart Brown. Leahy is a defendant in the case, and Dr. Brown is named as a non-party co-conspirator. In court documents obtained by this newsroom, government alleges Leahy and Dr. Brown, quote, concocted a scheme built upon bribery and greed and carried it out with complete disregard for Dr. Brown's position of public trust or for the physiological and psychological impact on patients who were allegedly subjected to excessive, medically unnecessary, and frankly dangerous scans so that Dr. Brown and Leahy could obtain greater reimbursements, end quote. In fact, government states Bermudians soon ranked among the most scanned patients in the world, receiving nearly twice as many scans as countries with comparable populations. Dr. Brown allegedly benefited handsomely from the scheme, collecting millions of dollars in fees he reportedly split with Leahy, which government claims enabled him and his wife to purchase and maintain a home worth more than $3 million at the exclusive Martha's Vineyard in Massachusetts, real estate in New York, and property in the Turks and Caicos Islands. Meanwhile, Leahy's revenues are said to have grown substantially through this purported arrangement. For example, between 2006 and 2016, it's alleged that local health insurers forked out more than $40 million for the services of Leahy. Dr. Brown allegedly paid Leahy hundreds of thousands of dollars in fees to interpret MRI and CT scans performed at his clinics. Government claims his scheme violated several U.S. laws, including the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, which bans bribes by Americans to foreign government officials, and laws against wire fraud, money laundering, and racketeering activity. Government is demanding reimbursement from Leahy for all the funds, revenues, and benefits it says rightfully belongs to Bermuda. The exact amount of money is expected to be determined at trial. Tarai Trott reporting for Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Leahy, in response to the lawsuit, describes the claims as baseless and without merit. Christopher Murphy, a Leahy spokesman, expressed confidence in the hospital's solid record of providing quality care to Bermudians. He said, quote, we will review these allegations and vigorously defend ourselves through every step of the legal process. Meantime, a request for comment to Dr. Brown about the lawsuit did not receive a response by News Time. And we want to hear your thoughts on today's news, plus your news, photos, and video anytime. Make sure you've liked our Facebook page on the address on your screen to get news updates. And if you happen to miss our newscast, don't worry. It's uploaded nightly to YouTube to be viewed anytime you want. So you can watch our news on your computer, laptop, or mobile device. And we're also now available on WhatsApp. So send us feedback anytime. Stay with us. More news and tonight's AccuWeather forecast after the break.
You can count on us.
Save $1 on fresh local broccoli, only $3.99 per pound. Save $1.20 per pound on fresh country-style pork spare ribs, only $3.59 per pound. Big savings of $2.86 on a 50-pack of ShopRite foam plates, only $3.99. Folgers Instant Coffee 8-ounce jar, only $6.99. Big savings of $1.86 on Honey Nut Cheerios cereal, only $3.99 for a 12.25-ounce box. All stores open Monday through Saturday until 10 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us.
Calling all Bermudian University graduates, have you considered a fast-paced and rewarding career in financial regulation?
As Bermuda's sole financial services regulator, the Bermuda Monetary Authority plays a key role in our success in the international business arena.
If you are driven, focused, and ready to challenge yourself, then apply to our graduate training program.
Visit bma.bm for details or check out our Facebook page.
We're accepting applications from January 3rd until March 31st.
The Bermuda Monetary Authority's graduate training program.
Challenge yourself.
Political focus shifts to the Senate, where the upper house is debating two bills for the airport redevelopment project. Since the two bills were amended in the House of Assembly last Friday, they are now the Bermuda Airport Authority Act 2017, which was passed late this evening, and the Airport Redevelopment Concession Act 2017. Senate Leader Michael Fay, in his prepared remarks, said skilled laborers requiring a certain amount of class hours to work on the airport was nothing new.
Approximately 60% of the 400-plus construction jobs expect to be filled by Bermudian labor and is more than consistent with the KEMH project. ACON has offered an internship program to provide 6-month internships for 7 Bermudian construction profession graduates with the opportunity of employment during the construction phase following successful completion of internships abroad. ACON's labor internship program and labor plan has been reviewed in detail by the Department of Workforce Development. The recipients of these internships have already been announced. The need for Bermudian construction workers to meet the stipulated number of hours of in-class training as drafted by the PA has been resolved with the Department of Workforce Development and ACON. ACON has agreed that the established process for trades is for DWD to assist with preparing a binder which indicates in-class and on-the-job experience. Bermuda College accepts work experience as satisfying certain in-class hours. This means that the actual number of in-class hours can be substantially or completely mitigated by work experience. Similar trade requirements were in place for the new hospital for the hospital project, so what is being proposed is not new. Airport passengers, Madam President, will benefit by traveling through a new modern terminal offering a significantly enhanced travel experience and with all the modern amenities found in other world-class airport terminals consistent with Bermuda's first-tier, first-class, first-world brand promise. This enhanced travel experience will be paid for in part through passenger fees set at a level consistent with international standards. It is estimated that passenger-related airport fees will be increased by approximately $20 per passenger from current levels upon introduction of a new airport infrastructure charge.
Meanwhile, opposition Senate Leader Renee Ming, during her speech, argued that government cannot ignore the political unrest the debate surrounding the airport project has caused.
December 2nd, 2016. For anyone who is young enough or even old enough to remember, we know that those protesters on that day who came out, they were protesting this very deal that we have here in front of us today. We have yet to realize, I believe, the full magnitude of December 2nd. 2016. And it's funny because yesterday I was reading an article, and if you give me a minute, I did bring a copy of it. It was our debate team, we have a debate team heading to Argentina to debate. If anyone wants to see it, it's here. And if you allow me to just read it, when asked some of the things that they were looking forward to with regard to the experience, because it's 2 girls and a young gentleman, and the girls said they were looking forward to visiting Argentina. The other girl said she's looking forward to the experience. But the sole 14-year-old debater, who was named Robert, he said, what I'm looking forward to most is just getting a break from all the stress in Bermuda, from a 14-year-old, the stress in his home country. So when I say that we have yet to realize the magnitude of December 2nd and all the other events that continue to happen in our country. I really mean that. I know as adults, we're stressed. Us that sit on this side sometimes wonder, what next? But this is our children who are now beginning to feel that stress. Madam President, in the last 4 years, 2 months, we've seen many protests. This was not even in December 2nd, that was not even the first protest with regard to the airport. Our children are reading, seeing social media. Imagine what went through their minds on December 2nd when they saw social media, news outlets, pictures, and all of that for the deal of a lifetime.
In other news, friends, fans, and the media got a first look at the boat that has been designed to defend the America's Cup in Bermuda. Jasmine Patterson brings us up to speed.
Premier Michael Dunkley last night, while introducing the Oracle team to the stage during the unveiling ceremony for their 35th America's Cup boat, told the sailors that majority of Bermuda will be flying the team's flag in support of them this summer.
In the time that I've known Jimmy and his team, I have never, ever seen a dedicated bunch who work as hard, show the commitment, show the perseverance, show the professionalism, and show the joy for what they do and the stick-to-itiveness to make it happen. And that's something that I think all of us can take and learn from as very important traits. It's been an honor to have you on the island, and I really trust that that relationship will continue on and on past June, into July, and into August. Because I'm going to put my colors right up on the flag again, as I'm sure everyone here standing on the harbor side tonight, and 99% of the people in Bermuda, we support Oracle Team USA to win the America's Cup back again.
Elsewhere, Oracle team captain Jimmy Spittle was cautious in his approach to the expectations later this summer.
I think the team that develops their ACC boat quicker than anyone else, they will win the America's Cup. I mean, obviously that starts now, but it doesn't stop once you get to the racing period. The whole way through the round robins, the Challenger Series, all the way up, right up until that last race of the America's Cup. And we only have to look back to San Francisco to see how important that was to keep that development going. I've got to say I'm really proud of this team and what they've achieved so far. I'd like to thank the design team, the engineering team, the shore support, of course our boat building team, and as Grant mentioned earlier, let's not forget about our boat builders down in New Zealand. You guys are in for a real treat when you see this boat. I mean, once you get up close, you get to see the pride in the detail of some of the craftsmanship in this boat, and it's an incredible machine.
Jasmine Patterson reporting for Bermuda Broadcasting News.
And now that the greatest race on water is just around the corner, a few more items have been unveiled to stir anticipation. Gary Foster Skelton has more.
It's hard to believe that it's only 100 days until the 35th America's Cup in Bermuda begins. Today we were given a virtual bird's-eye view of what the incredible America's Cup Village in Dockyard is going to look like, with a graphic impression of the grandstand, the stage, the hospitality structures, and dozens of team and media centres. It's finally possible to fully visualise the scale of the construction and the massive audience that will be present for the competition. We were also given a simulation of the race course, and America's Cup CEO Sir Russell Coutts commented on the speed at which the new ACC class boats will traverse the course, saying the step forward that these boats will have in performance terms is incredible. Races that in past America's Cup events took hours will now be played out in around 22 minutes. And if you need to set your watch for the start of racing, just drive past the flagpole on Front Street. Today, Premier Michael Dunkley, Minister of Economic Development Grant Gibbons, PLP MP Wayne Furbert and representatives of ACBDA and ACEA gathered to unveil the America's Cup countdown clock. The Premier brought his anticipation to the fore.
I recall, Mike, 2 years and 2 months ago when it was unveiled in New York, to pure excitement that the America's Cup was coming to Bermuda. And now today, as I walked off Burnaby Hill and saw the clock, that excitement really started to grow to the next level.
Minister Grant Gibbons thanked some of the key people involved in bringing the event to Bermuda. Among others, he named ACBDA Chairman Peter Derhager and his board, ACBDA CEO Mike Winfield and his operational team, America's Cup Liaison Officer Jasmine Smith, Wedco, Alan Burland at BCM and Sam Hollis at ACEA.
What an extraordinary journey and privilege it's been to have been involved in the preparations today.
To the people of Bermuda, let's continue to rally behind the America's Cup. We have work to do, but we are going to have a wonderful time in May and June with the greatest sailors in the world, some of the greatest athletes in the world, right here in the Great Sound racing. I can't wait.
Exciting indeed. Well, in other news tonight, the regulatory authority advising the public that it has given approval for One Communications Limited to immediately begin a technical trial of its fiber wire broadband service to a small sample of its customer base. The RA has specified various parameters for the trial to ensure it is consistent with various regulations as well as the authority's remit to protect consumer interests and promote competition. The details of the trial are confidential, and households eligible for the trial will be contacted by One Communications directly for their participation. Turning to weather news, well, you can probably already hear it outside, but you're going to want to pay close attention to the weather conditions as we have some severe conditions headed our way later tonight into Thursday in the form of a cold front. Here's what we can expect from AccuWeather headquarters.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
Well, once again, tonight's forecast brought to you by the BF&M Insurance Group. I'm AccuWeather's Shanae Shocker. We're going to start to see our winds begin to increase as well as those waves. They're already pretty high right now. We take a look at our satellite radar. What we're looking at here, another approaching front. This last one well off towards our south and our east. We continue to see some swells come from that one. But this one's going to bring around a half an inch to 3/4 of an inch of rain. And it's also picking up our winds as we head into tonight around gale force warning out there. So we're looking at this front passes as we head around the midnight hour for tonight and into tomorrow morning. We take a closer look at exactly what's going on. Lots of those showers held off towards our north and our west, but overall so far haven't started to see too much wet weather for today. Now, as we take a look at our current conditions, our humidity right around that 67% mark. These winds on the southwest, 22 to 26 knots. Those are going to really begin to increase throughout tonight. Once again, we are going towards a gale warning through Friday, actually. Water temperature, 66 degrees. Waves inside the reef, 3 to 4 feet. These are going to be increasing. So as far as beaches are concerned, it's definitely going to be choppy out there. Waves outside the reef currently around 10 to 16 feet. For tomorrow, we're looking at to more so shift into 16 to 20 feet. So very dangerous conditions out on the waters with this system passing through. As far as our temperatures are concerned, we're right around the 68-degree mark for our current temperatures. Looking forward to tonight, windy conditions. We're going to have a couple of showers late night. Heavier rounds will be held towards the early morning hours tomorrow. We're going to stick with windy conditions and periods of rain. Showers soon to taper off as we head into our Thursday night, but they will stick around through Friday as well. As far as our marine conditions, our next high tide, 11:42 tonight. That's going to be pretty high because of this front passing through right around the midnight hour. And then we'll have our second high tide just before noon for our Thursday here. Look at your gateway forecast. Things drying out across the northeast. Toronto even going to be getting a couple of peaks of that sunshine in there. New York, 38 degrees. We will continue to see maybe a spotty mixture of snow throughout the early morning hours into Boston, looking to accumulate around 1 to 3 inches with this next system. Atlanta, however, will be drying out here. Out towards the Caribbean, spotty shower or so, really not bad weather here, very light trade winds. And then here's a look at our forecast. Thursday into Friday, we'll be seeing that rain, heavier rain going to be held towards our Thursday morning, cooling off into our Friday and our Saturday. We could see a fairly brief passing shower for Saturday and Sunday, but Sunday more likely towards the afternoon as we have a second weak upper level low push through the region. So Sunday night into Monday, chances of showers will return. Winds will increase just slightly with this system. So make sure you do tune into your local radio stations, Ocean 89, Power 95, and Inspire 105 for all of your weather news and updates.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
Every day, a tsunami hits Bermuda. A tidal wave of information and images floods our phones, laptops, and tablets. We're awash in emails, posts, tweets, blogs, texts. As an advertiser, your message can easily get drowned out. Time to reach for the life raft.
Technology changed the game, but television and radio still lead the way. Who doesn't have an all-time favorite TV ad?
Aflac, where's the beef? You can count on us.
The man, your man could smell it.
TV remains the most powerful advertising tool in the world. For immediacy and engagement, you can't beat radio. Here at Bermuda Broadcasting, we can help you reach thousands of people at the same time. You might have a new small business or run a corporation. We can customize ads to help you build awareness and attract new customers. TV and radio advertising gets results. Call me, Diane Brewer, and I'll show you how.
I have been crazy, but that's just alright. Alright. My feelings, I don't hide them from me. Not, alright. Come and get it if you really want it. Come and get it if you really need it. Come and get it if you really want it. Come and get it if you really need it.
A special visitor arrived in Bermuda yesterday to carry out a very special mission to offer reassurance and security to the British overseas territories. We decided to send Tarai Trott and cameraman Gareth Fletcher to Heritage Wharf today to gain first-hand knowledge of life on board the Royal Navy ship RFA Wave Knight.
She's traveled through war zones and spent the last few months sailing the Caribbean, mainly to provide assurance to the region's British overseas territories. Now, the Royal Navy's RFA Wave Knight is back in Bermuda beginning the annual patrol of the Atlantic and Caribbean for the upcoming hurricane season.
When did the mission start, or the deployment start?
Deployment for Wave Knight started back in July last year, and we're out here for a few more months and will be relieved by another ship. So it will be continuous presence out here.
Tell us about the countries that you visited before coming to Bermuda.
Recent countries this year, we've been to Jamaica, Kingston, Jamaica. We've also been to Grand Cayman. We've been to Panama, Colón in Panama, and we've been to Cuba.
Cuba was the ship's last port of call before arriving to Bermuda. The ship is expected to sail out this Saturday and head to the Bahamas.
The main focus is the overseas territories. When it comes to hurricane disaster relief, of course, the hurricanes don't discriminate between a British overseas territory and another one. So if another country gets badly hit, another island gets badly hit, we'll go and help those.
Built in 2002 with the purpose of refueling other ships at sea, RFA Wave Knight weighs 30,000 tons, stretches 643 feet in length, is around 100 feet wide, currently has 80 people on board, and yes, she is armed.
A very handy bit of kit. It's a multi-barreled, 6 barrels, 2,000 rounds a minute. If we're out in the Middle East and we had those...
The ship is also used for counter-narcotics operations in partnership with agencies from the USA, France, and the Netherlands. While patrolling in October, the crew seized a fast boat smuggling 1 ton of cocaine in the Central Caribbean.
The ship, when it's in UK, it's based normally in Portland in Dorset. However, it spends about 80 to 90% of its time overseas. The ship goes out for long periods and the people change over.
The Royal Fleet Auxiliary ourselves, we are civilian based under the Royal Navy umbrella. Approximately 3,000 people and 13 ships, pretty much worldwide. This used to be called WIGS, used to be called West Indies Guard Ship in the Caribbean itself. Also got FIGS, Falklands Guard Ship. These names have changed, but roughly our role remains the same.
For Third Officer and Engineer Matt Williams, life on the high seas is not as troublesome as you might think.
Welcome to my cabin. I'm a junior engineer, so these are the living quarters that I have. I have a little fridge, have a table to do paperwork at, and then behind yourselves there's an ensuite facility as well. On land you get to a certain way of life. It's a lot more chilled, it's a lot more relaxed, whereas on here it's very professional. You're always on the go. When you're on board ship, you're expected to be available on duty 24/7.
And of course, that was Tarai Trott reporting. Ship officials also telling us the services they provide to Bermuda and the Caribbean overseas territories are fully funded by Her Majesty's Ministry of Defence. Turning to sports, Delray Rollins and his England teammates are in control in India, and Bermuda's Carifta swimming team released. Earl Baisden has tonight's sports report.
Delray Rollins and his England under-19 teammates have made inroads into the Indian under-19 batting as they claim 6 wickets on day 3 of their 4-day youth test match in India. India started the day on 156 for 2. They declared at 431 for 8, still 70 runs behind the England first inning total. Rollins finished with bowling figures of 14 overs, 4 maidens, 1 for 48. At the close of play, England had reached 23 for 1 with first inning Centurion captain Max Holden out for 8, with Rollins due to bat next. Excitement is brewing as Bermuda national swimming coach Ben Smith announced the 2017 Bermuda Carifta Swimming Championships team.
So in the 11 and 12 age group, we are going to have 2 boys. It will be Sam Williamson and Finn Mosley. Finn, this will be the first time that he's attending Carifta, and with Sam, we're hoping that he'll be building off of what he was able to do last year. In the 11 and 12 girls, we have 4 girls this year, which will mean that we'll also have a relay team, which is always exciting. We have Elon Daly, who I know everybody's been hearing quite a bit about, along with Peyton Zelkin. And we also have Jessica Bruton, and we will have Taylor White, who's also going to be part of it. She's taking part in a camp right behind us. In the 13-14 age group, we have 2 boys, Keegan Woolley and Brian Desmond, and we have 3 girls, Skylar Powell, Gabby Pittman, and Logan Watson-Brown. And then in the 15 and over age group, we'll have Jesse Washington, Evan Farrow, and Ethan Daly, and Maddie Moore will be our lone female in that category, so that rounds out the 15.
The 22nd annual Shy Invitational Karate Tournament concluded recently at the Pembroke Sunday School, where Talia Iris was crowned the Women's Black Belt Grand Champion and the Women's Black Belt Weapons Grand Champion. The Black Belt Women's Weapons 40-over champion was Andrea McKee. Capturing the boys under-10 title was Jakio Seymour, while the girls' 6 to 7 age group title went to Madeline Simons. Kentaro Bean won the Intermediate and Advanced Boys Grand Championship title and the Junior Weapons Grand Champion crown as well. All 3 of Bermuda's professional English players were in action last evening. Nicky Wells and his Huddersfield Town teammates blew the Skybat Championship automatic promotion race wide open with a thrilling 3-2 victory at Rotherham. Huddersfield looked like they were going to be held to a disappointing draw by rock-bottom Rotherham until they showcased their credentials with Tommy Smith's injury time winner. Tom Anderson rescued a dramatic point for Rai Simons and his relegated threatened Chesterfield team in a 1-1 draw with Gilliam. It looked like Gilliam had won it through Max Elmer's 67th minute opener, but Anderson earned Chesterfield a vital point just with their 6th on the road all season after firing home 4 minutes into stoppage time. Simons came off the bench in the 64th minute. Doncaster's 10-game unbeaten run came to an end as Reggie Lamb and his Carlisle United teammates grounded out a 2-1 win at Burton Park to get their own promotion hopes back on track. Nicky Adams fired Carlisle into the lead. Lamb almost doubled that advantage shortly after, but his close-range drive was well blocked by the Doncaster goalkeeper. James Finnegan and his Florida Institute of Technology men's tennis teammates bounced back after a season-opening loss by putting together an impressive 7-2 win over Carson Newman. Finnegan will pick up a hard-fought 8-6 victory with his doubles partner in the number 2 spot, and then in the singles, following his team's first defeat of the day, Finnegan got this team back on track with a straight sets 7-5, 6-4 victory. Tasia O'Reilly and his Payne College men's basketball teammates celebrated homecoming with a 82-77 win over Morris College in front of 1,048 spectators in the Heo complex. Payne College picked up only their 2nd victory of the season, while Morris College dropped to 3-14. Riley did not score in the game, going 0 for 5 from the field, and he never went to the free throw line. Riley did, however, have 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 block shots in 29 minutes of action. Shaquille O'Neal representing St. Augustine University and Juma Moshat representing Virginia State University competed in the 2017 CIAA Indoor Track and Field Championships. Dill ran to victory in the men's 800-meter final with a time of 1:55.39, and both Dill and Moshat lined up for the men's mile. Dill finished 2nd, stopping the clock in a time of 4:37.82, while Moshat finished 8th, clocking 4:48.27. Commonwealth Games Federation Director of Sport and International Federation Relations, Matthew Carton, has claimed the organization is satisfied with the progress being made before this year's Commonwealth Youth Games in the Bahamas. Bahamas' first ever international multi-sport event will see Bermuda athletes competing. Carton made the assertion after the Commonwealth Games Federation visited key sites and carried out a review of Bahamas 2017's plans as the countdown continues to the Games, which take place July 19th through to the 23rd. It will be the largest international sporting event ever staged in the Bahamas and the biggest edition of the Games, with up to 1,300 athletes aged 14 through 18 set to participate. I'm Earl Basden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
Eat healthy, extra-large cantaloupes, $3.99 each. Fresh Purdue chicken leg quarters, only $1.49 per pound. ShopRite sweet whole kernel corn, 15.25-ounce tin, only 99 cents. For your favorite dish, ShopRite elbow macaroni, 16-ounce box, only $1.49. Can't beat this price on ShopRite rice, 5-pound bag, only $3.99. All stores open Monday through Saturday until 10 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
And that's our newscast for tonight. I'm Diane Brewer. Thank you for joining us. Have a fantastic evening. Good night.